Okay, well this is our pump house, and this is the pump house edition, and I'm going to just kind of talk about what I do know about what we got going on down here, and then show how to clean the filter, because I do know how to do that. And we do that about once a month. It was suggested every 3 months when we first got the system in, and it just didn't seem to, our water was, condition of our water was worse than we'd anticipated. So now it's become a monthly thing, and then hopefully we're cutting down on costs of replacement of parts and pieces, which we've kind of gone through. So here we go. Let's take a look. Okay, well this is why we built the pump house, is to protect all of the internal parts in here, all the working pieces for the most part, with the exception of the pump, and the pump's in the bottom of the tank over there, and I'll show you that. But we've got, to clean our water, we've got this triple O, and that's basically done with a little emitter. You'll see me clean that today, and the filter. And basically that's adding as an ozone into the water, and then it pulls grime, basically, as best I can describe it, into the filter. And that's why we have to spray the filter out and clean it periodically. And then this is a UV, and so this is to sanitize the water. And so the water passes by, I believe, some sort of a UV light, and that kind of kills any germs. And then over here, I believe this is the brains for the pump that I talked about that's submersed in the tank. And then over here is just our box, our breaker box, basically, that runs everything. And then right behind the door, you can kind of see this is a plug in case we ever run out of, the power goes out. We have a generator, so we've got a transfer switch on the outside, and this is the plug for the transfer switch. And again, that's where we would plug in our generator if the power were to go out and we wanted to get water up to our house. And I didn't talk about this too much. This is basically where the water goes in and comes out, and there's a pressure tank there. Looks like about a 2-gallon, maybe, pretty small, just to maintain pressure in the system. And then that gauge there is our working pressure, and it usually, if it's not on, it's usually at about 120. So we have 120 pounds down here, and by the time it gets up to our house, it ends up being about 60 pounds, I think. And this is our water tank, and so again you can see basically some pipes going in and coming out, so they're going in from the well and out to the pump house. And that little round section at the top, that's where you basically flip the lid there and you can pull everything out of there. There's a pump in there I mentioned, pretty much at the bottom, and then there's also the filter that I mentioned too. Okay, so what you saw me do was I basically lifted this out of the tank. It's kind of dangling in there, and that emitter that the ozone goes through is in here. And so I just unscrewed this top section and brought this whole unit over. And so one of the things that was advised is to not over tighten these fittings, because they can kind of get, I won't say corroded, but kind of gunked on. And so basically you tighten them and then back them off a little bit as you put things back, so they're easy to take apart. You can see the filter is very dirty, but to go from here, we would take this piece off, and again, just kind of snug, not cinched as far as tightness. And so this piece will come off. You can see definitely we need this system. Our water's not the best. And then this piece comes off, and then the filter comes out. And I usually just give these a quick spray, and I never really bring them back to white. But the filter I try to spray out really well. So that's the next thing. And this is the spray nozzle we use. This came with the system. This gives it a really concentrated, nice blast, and hoping to kind of get all that gunk out. So it kind of kicks a little. It's got a lot of pressure. Okay, so we use a muriatic acid to clean the emitter, the ozone emitter, and so this stuff will last forever, but try not to get any on your fingers. So basically, I'm going to put the emitter in here, and I'm going to kind of dangle it around. It's going to bubble, and eventually it'll knock off sort of that orange color that you saw coming out of the filter. Similar situation there. Okay, so I like to make sure there's no kinks in this little tube here, so we get maximum amount of ozone coming out of there. And then I just simply kind of dabble it in there, and it's in there bubbling right now. And if you can see that, I'll turn it around away from the label. And try not to get this, like I said, on yourself, or concrete would be bad, maybe plastic would be bad. So just kind of do it carefully. And this is going to take a few minutes. You can see it's quite dirty, and it won't get all the way clean, but you'll be amazed at how clean it will get it. And then I'll usually just take, I know this is a little toy football. I never really liked the Arcata Tigers much, but this has just got water in it, so I'll give it a quick bath with this, just straight water, so that we're not putting any muriatic acid into our tank. And I'll just kind of, same method, just kind of dip it in there and move it around a little bit. And well, now I think I'm ready to put it all back together. So kind of reverse process, gonna bring the filter up there, gonna screw the chain section in the little harness there, and then lower it back into the tank. Okay, well that's pretty much it. As noticed, the filter's in pretty bad shape. We'll probably replace it next time. Last time, this is only our second one. We've had this system 6 or 7 years. Last time the filter actually was falling apart, but as you can see, it's still capturing things in it. But I think we're due for another filter. And then I always wonder about that emitter too. It never really gets white like it originally was, but seems to work. Hope it was a big help.